Hey everyone, welcome back. And today we'll be doing another Leetcode problem 24 swap nodes in pairs. This is a median one given the linked list. Swap every two adjacent node and return its head. You must solve the problem without modifying the value in the list nodes. The node themselves may be changed, not the values. You do not have to swap the values, you have to actually change the nodes. So if there is one node at the end, then we are not going to swap it. So that's it. What we can do here, suppose if we have a linked list like 1 pointing to 2, 2 pointing to 3, 3 pointing to 4. We will just make a dummy pointer at the very first for our own easiness and have a previous pointer pointing to that dummy pointer, and the current pointer will be pointing to the head. So now what we want to do is just reverse these two. Okay, but if we reverse like this, 2 will have the reference of this one, but we have to save some pointers because we will lose the reference to this group. So we will just save uh, in the next pair will be the pointer, and it will be saving current dot next, which will be 2, dot next, which will be 3, and we will have 3 in our next pair. And also we want to save current dot next because we will be needing it later. You will see why, because we do want to add it into our head. So this is going to be our head. Dummy dot next is going to be our head, a previous one, you can say. Yes, so to current dot next is going to be added in the previous. So second uh, second second will be equal to 2. Okay, so if we do current dot next, the second dot next should hold the reference of current. So the linked list will be something like this one, and this one is also pointed by 2, and we are no longer having the reference of this 4. Okay, but we have saved this next pair reference. What we want to do is just make this current, uh, because our current is at this location, we know. So this current point to the next pair. So if we do that, we will be having a linked list that looks like 2, 2 pointing to 1, 1 pointing to 3, and 3 pointing to 4. The dummy pointer, the previous pointer, which was here, will still be pointing to 1, but we can just not write it because it will just make things messier for us. The previous pointer is pointing to 1. Now we have to change the previous pointer, so the previous pointer will be pointing to the second. That's why we saved the second, and the previous pointer will be pointing to which was a dummy. So let me just write the dummy here. Dummy will point to D, this two. Okay, so that's it. Now we have to reverse the next pair. This is pointing to null. Okay, so our previous is going to be here at this point, and our current was at 1. What we want to do is just update our current to wherever our next pair was, because we will be doing things in pair. So this current will be on this location, and this previous is going to be wherever our current was. So it was like on 1, and current is going to be at 3. Okay, so now we'll be doing the same process again. We will be saving current dot next, which will just give us. Okay, so next pair is going to have none, because current dot next is going to be null, and the second is going to be 4. Okay, now revising the same process, linked list from the start will be the same. and we do want to change the for dot next second dot next point to the current one, so it will become like this. This Yes, the 4 is also pointing to 3. Now we want 3 to point wherever our next pair was, so 3 will be pointing to the next pair, which will make things like let me just do it here. So 4 pointing, no, this is not currently pointing to 4, but let's say 3, and 3 is pointing to none. Now we want to create this link, so we will do previous dot next. Previous was at 1 to our second will be having 4, so we will just create the link, and that's it. The output will be looking like this: 2143 2143. Let's see how we are going to do things here. Okay, so if there is not a head, then we are going to return. If not head, then just return none, or you can say empty list, or whatever you want to return. So but this case will also be handled by our dummy pointer, so we do not have to do this. So just make a dummy list node. List node will be having the value of 0. You can give the value whatever you want, because you will not be doing anything with it, and it will point to head, and dummy pointer will be pointing to the head, as we seen in the examples or the explanation. And we will have a previous pointer which will be pointing to dummy, and a current pointer which will be pointing to head. Okay, so while our current and current dot next, because we do want to have the next node, otherwise we are not going to do this operation on the last single node. Will not be reversing the single node, obviously. So while this is the case, we are going to have a next pair pointer which will have current dot next dot next dot next. Okay, and a second one which will have current dot next. Okay, now we have saved. This is just saving the pointers. Now we'll be implementing the process. So second will be having current, and not second dot next will be having current. So second dot next, it will be having current, and current will be pointed to wherever our next pointer was. So current is going to be wherever our next pointer was. Current dot next will be pointing to wherever our next pair was or is, because we do want to do things in pair. After that, we want to update our previous, so previous dot next will be holding the second. So second. Okay, this is done. This is the swapping process, this is the saving process, this is swapping, and now we want to update our pointers. So previous will be holding the current, and the current will be the next pair. Okay, so after doing all of this, we can just return dummy dot next, which will be the head, and this should work. Let's see if this works or not. And this works. Let's submit it. If you have any kind of questions, you can ask them in the comments, and see you later.